Ooh, what's up, everybody? Welcome to SLC Puck. I'm your host, Austin Facer, and guess what day it is, guys? Guess what day we're coming to you from my mother's basement. It's spooky season, officially in effect. All the haunts and frights are out and about. And as you can probably tell, we are in the mood, the holiday mood today. The holiday we're talking about, of course, Jersey Miss Eve! It is Jersey Miss Eve. The Utah Mammoth's first ever Mammoth branded jerseys are going to be released tomorrow at the Delta Center, October 2nd. That's kind of why I wanted to get today's episode recorded a little bit earlier than I usually do. I usually record these a little bit later in the evening. Right now it's about 6:15, but we got to go over there and camp out in front of the Delta Center to get ready to get a uniform. Hopefully there's no season ticket holders who, buy all 40,000 jerseys, before we can get there. That's what I heard, by the way. There's supposed to be 40,000 jerseys on hand. I'm pretty sure anybody who wants a jersey is going to be able to get one tomorrow, which is very exciting. My sister wants one. She's a little disappointed, though, that the Kailer Yamamoto jersey won't come stitched. That'll have to be custom made. As far as I'm concerned, I'm just curious how the SLC Puck jerseys will do. Last year, they sold 2 of those, and they were both to me. So we'll see. Hopefully we'll see more SLC Puck jerseys this time around. But hey, even if you can't swing a jersey, here's a way to support the show. You can head over to our sponsor, BigTuskEnergy.com. It's for fans who know what they're packing. And grab yourself a hat, a hoodie. All this stuff is going to look incredible on your head or your body for Mammoth games this season at the Delta Center. Go ahead and check them out. I would greatly appreciate Big Tusk Energy, which is my own brand. So I greatly appreciate myself, and you're welcome. So there you go. So yes, we're here October 2nd. It is the eve of Jersey Miss. It is also the eve of the Utah Mammoth's first, I guess, housewarming party, I guess you could say. We're going to get our first look at the newly renovated Delta Center and everything, all the bells and whistles. That should have the big old slab of meat, Thor's hammer, that gigantic thing. No idea what that's going to cost, by the way, but it looks like it can feed a family of 12, so we'll see. I'm going to be at the game tomorrow, so if you see me, feel free to say hi. I don't charge for pictures, so, come on up and say hello.
You're welcome.
And yes, my big thanks to Sam for swinging it and getting the tickets for us. But it should be a lot of fun. I'm excited to see the new Delta Center, the seating arrangement. I just want to address one thing. I noticed that a few fans were upset that the team went ahead and made the decision to not allow posters into the arena on game nights. Here's what I would just say to those of you who are upset. You could always do as I do and paint your chest if there's a message that you want to get across. Give your encouragement to the team. Maybe request a puck or a stick at warm-ups. Put it on your chest. They can't stop you from writing anything on your chest. I'm pretty sure they can't. So maybe that's worth trying. Kelly Queel of the Utah Hockey Podcast had a funny idea. Maybe just do like a poncho with something on it that you can hold up. That's not a bad idea either. But it's going to be just an incredible evening at Delta Center, seeing everything that's there, seeing everybody getting back together. Just full disclosure. I mean, I know I come across as like a rugged badass, on the show, and that's readily apparent in my appearance and the seriousness with which we take the program here. But I was thinking about the last 18 months or so, thinking about the last year, thinking about where we were last year, and just felt like really emotional, really, really grateful for everything that's happened with SLC Puck and with our community and with the hockey scene. and all the friends and people that I've been able to meet and make, all the friendships I've been able to make over the year, and all the support that I've gotten as well over the last year and change. So I just want to get that out of the way. Like, thank you so much. Just makes me so excited. I thought this off season would never end, and thankfully it has. And we're here in October, and it's going to be a blast to be back in the Delta Center. The Utah Hockey Club, they're going to play I need to get that right, guys. They're the Utah Mammoth now. The Utah Mammoth are going to be taking on the Los Angeles Kings, a team they played last night in Boise, as Mike Folta was saying for a couple periods. And by the way, take it easy on Mike Folta. He's really good at what he does, and pronouncing names is very difficult. And I'll say this, if Folta, who is much smarter, more talented than me, can mispronounce Boise, I'm terrified when you guys hear me mispronounce, very common names on a much larger platform eventually. So go easy on me when I get there. All right. When this thing becomes worldwide, which it inevitably will. But the Utah Mammoth came home from the land of the potatoes with a sack full of L's, I guess you could say, a big fat L, a 3-2 loss to Los Angeles. In Boise, we saw goals by Daniil Boot, Cameron Hebeg as well. And it was really an interesting game. And the Clean Hits guys, who I adore and who I'm incredibly jealous of today, because they managed to secure an interview with General Manager Bill Armstrong. So that's part of the reason why I'm trying to record this episode so quickly tonight. I got to get to watching that episode from the Clean Hits guys. So after you watch my show, make sure you check them out, or maybe you already have. So either way, I mean, it should be incredible stuff. And I want to just give a big shout out to Trent Hess. He sent me a text today. He's like, hey, we have a big episode. We had a big episode coming out, and I just want you to know that I wore your SLC Puck show just for the occasion. I was like, wow, that made me feel really good. So make sure you guys are supporting Clean Hits Hockey as well. But anyway, what I was saying is the fellas had a tweet last night that was really, I thought, a perfect setup for last night's game. They're like, oh, tonight is definitely an audition night. And it really was. And I think that was pretty obvious when you looked at the roster that they rolled out for last night's game. And there's been some roster moves since, some big ones. We'll get to talking about that in just a second. But you look at the roster here for last night. We saw TJ Ginla, Daniil Boot, who else? Cole Boudouin. Did Maverick Lamoureux play last night? He did not. He's been called down to Tucson, so his training camp with the Utah Mammoth is now over as of a couple hours ago. But you could tell that they're in the forward group. They had some guys who were on the cusp, on the bubble, that they wanted to get a closer look at, and I was really interested in that myself, because I've kind of understood this situation now a little. I understand it now differently than I did before, and I have to give credit to other podcasts for this. Hey guys, I wanted to interrupt really quick just to remind you that SLC Puck is powered by Big Tusk Energy. That's right. It's for fans who know what they're packing and aren't afraid to show it off. It's the merch line created by a fan, yours truly, Austin Facer, for fans. A tremendous way to show your Utah hockey spirit, enthusiasm, and that swagger, that attitude that we bring to the rink night in, night out, or really anywhere you go. Lots of great merch that works for any function, weddings, bar mitzvahs, church, whatever. The hats look super dope. This is probably my favorite item, the Utah hockey inspired snapback, Big Tusk Energy hat. But again, there's lots of great stuff. This new t-shirt we have, the City Defender tee, is a really dope one as well. So head to bigtuskenergy.com or slcpuck.shop. Another way to find the stuff. Buy some merch. It's a great way to support the show and all the fun we do here at slcpuck.com and SLC Puck, the podcast, and watch parties too.
And what do you say? Let's get back to the show.
Fulta and Adrian Denny really got my head thinking about this in a different way. Like we'd been talking so much about the possibility of there being like maybe one opening in the forward group, maybe two now that Alex Kerfoot is out week to week. And I thought to myself, like, this could be this is Austin a few days ago thinking. I thought to myself, this could be a really good opportunity for someone to break into the NHL for the first time, for like a heavily lauded prospect, maybe Tej, maybe Kobo, maybe Daniil Boot. By the way, Boot played really well last night. But one of those guys to get their first taste of the NHL. And I've come to realize that I don't think that's as realistic as I think it is, or at least thought it was. And here was kind of the thought that popped into my head when I realized this. I was like, this team, the Utah Mammoth, they have laid their cards out on the table in a way. They've said, hey, listen, our goal this year is to go to the Stanley Cup playoffs. For us, and I think Clayton Keller said something to the effect of like anything other than that would be a failure. It feels like there's a little bit of pressure, some confidence, as Andre Tourigny has said, but there is an expectation now that like it's playoffs or bust. I've heard multiple guys say, there's no excuses now. We've got this incredible practice facility. We have all the tools we need to get to the postseason, to get where we want to be. And, furthermore, I would just add, like, there are some guys who have, their livelihood on the line if they don't make the postseason. I think if Andre Tourigny may be feeling a little bit on the hot seat, I know he was favored to win the Coach of the Year award, but like truthfully, if the team starts a little slow and maybe is not in the mix by Thanksgiving, there's a possibility that the Utah Mammoth brass might move on from their only coach that they've known thus far. So there's a little bit of pressure there. So in other words, this team is not in a stage where they're looking to develop a player while they're playing meaningful games in the NHL, if that makes sense. Like the NHL, it's the top of the ladder. It's for the elite hockey players in the world. It is not intended to be a developmental league. That's why they have the American Hockey League. That's why they have the ECHL. They have all the levers and pulleys to get up to the NHL level. But at the NHL, you're expected to be amongst the best of the best any given night. And it is not a place for a kid to learn the ropes, so to speak, or to find himself, or to work on his game. Like, you're expected to be at a high level when you get there. And so, again, I watched the game and I kind of realized that. And I was watching Cole Boudouin play, and I thought to myself, he's not there yet. I was like really high on him. I saw the picture of him shirtless, and after I realized that it wasn't me, it was a little deceptive. I thought it was me. I realized, like, I thought when I saw the picture, I thought, this guy has a chance to be banging and bruising down in the corners at the NHL level. But now I just, after watching him, I think his skating leaves a lot to be desired for. I think the hands could be worked on a bit more. I don't think he's ready to play games that count in the National Hockey League. I think there are other guys who are a little bit closer. I think Tej is a little closer, but he's not quite there yet either. I saw him pick up the puck on a board rim in the neutral zone, and he had his head down. He was like ripe for the picking and got leveled on a hit. That led to a fight in the game. I thought Daniil Boot might be the most ahead of any of those prospects. Obviously, he's scored a couple of goals this preseason. But I have to apologize, and I'm sorry. I want you to look in my eyes and know that I mean it when I say that I'm sorry, to Kailer Yamamoto. I think he's a guy that I haven't talked about enough. Fulta and Adrian Denny talked about him as probably the most likely candidate to replace Alex Kerfoot. And I was like, okay, let's see what they're talking about. As I was watching the game last night, and I completely agreed. I came to realize that this is probably the direction that the coaching staff and the management is leaning towards, is having Kailer suit up Yams, so to speak. They're going to pass the Yams, you might say, to the NHL level, and they're going to. I wouldn't be surprised to see him suit up for the Mammoth on opening night on October 9th at Colorado. Because you watch the game and you realize like he's playing in all situations. He's playing even strength minutes, heavy even strength minutes. He's playing shorthanded as well. He was on the power play in addition to other duties last night. So I think it's a great story too to have a guy like Kailer Yamamoto amongst the group and back in the NHL in an opening day lineup. This was a guy whose career was on the ropes last year. He came into Utah Hockey Club camp on a professional tryout, was able to earn a two-way deal, and spent time half and half, in the national and then in the A. And it just to me, I think completes the story to see him take advantage of this moment and this opportunity. And who knows? Maybe he can stick. Maybe things go so well for him in the National Hockey League that he can remain there full time and not face healthy scratches or being sent back to the A when Alex Kerfoot gets healthy again. Just to me, I think right now that makes the most sense. If there's another forward spot up for grabs, I'm not sure there is. Liam O'Brien has been back on the ice. Some guys are getting healthy again. Logan Cooley's been missing a little bit of time, but he's been back at practice, I believe. I was looking at some updates from our great local media who cover the team.
Hey, real quick, guys, I just wanted to remind you about the Big Stick and Gloves Energy giveaway brought to you by SLCPuck.com. That's my Substack where I upload all my content, podcasts, columns, information about watch parties, all the good stuff, right? It gets sent directly to your inbox. No spam, no filler, just killer stuff right in your email. And here's the deal. I want to grow this thing, get more people involved in the hockey community. So I'm doing a fun little giveaway. Once we hit 1,000 subscribers on Substack, I'm going to give away a pair of Utah Hockey Club team-issued gloves and a stick used by Nick Schmaltz. By the way, Nick Schmaltz, the Utah Mammoth, Utah Hockey Club, not involved in this giveaway. To one lucky subscriber. Again, when we hit 1,000, we're at about 450 subs right now. We made some huge progress, so get in on it, guys. It's free to subscribe. Again, lots of great content straight in your inbox and available on slcpuck.com. Let's get back to the show. Oh, and don't forget to subscribe.
I think we could say that Daniil Boot is probably next in line for the next forward group, but it's going to be really interesting. I mean, we're seeing the roster moves start to trickle in here. I'll just pull up the Utah Mammoth PR. And apologies, it's kind of I'm having some trouble seeing, and I'm not really sure why. Here we go. Here's the roster updates we've been seeing. So, like I said, within the last hour, Maverick Lamoureux has been sent down to Tucson, and Cole Boudouin has been sent back to the Barrie Colts of the OHL. The other big news today. This is a big one. This is a big one. Connor, what's that?
After we talked about how that would not be.
Yeah, a hilarious tournament event. Sammy and I, maybe manifested a bad reality for now former Utah goaltender Connor Ingram, who was traded this morning to the Edmonton Oilers in a deal that I guess didn't see a return for Utah. He was traded to Edmonton for future considerations. Utah agreed to retain about 40%, a little more than 40% of his salary. But he's going to get another opportunity to eventually work his way back up into the NHL. I think the plan is for him to start in the American Hockey League, kind of get his feet under him with the Bakersfield Condors, and then rise through the ranks and perhaps hopefully suit up for the Edmonton Oilers. I say that Sammy and I manifested a bad reality for him because while it's great. It's great. I'm gonna spin this the same way Bill Armstrong did. We're so excited to see Connor Ingram playing again, doing what he loves, doing what he's great at, goaltending, being one of the best goaltenders in the world. You make it to the National Hockey League, you're one of the best goaltenders in the world. But it to me, I think raises a little bit of a red flag that they sent him to Edmonton. I mean, we saw stories last summer about how, the fans were sending Stuart Skinner and perhaps even Calvin Picker, their current goaltenders, death threats after they, had some subpar performances in the playoffs. So, like Sammy and I said in our last show, sending a guy who has had some mental health challenges to a very stressful situation like that, where not only do the goaltenders under fire, the whole team is going to be feeling the heat in a big way with Connor McDavid's contract up at the end of the year, and that sort of influx as well as to what he'll do. I would imagine Edmonton is not going to be the most peaceful place, and I think it'll be just to put on my PR hat here. I think this will be a very big test of Connor Ingram's mental fitness, but I'm hopeful. I'm optimistic for Connor. I'll say this, he was having issues because of the loss of his mother, right? That was it, right? Yeah, I'm pretty sure. I'll say this as someone who has lost a parent and has been through that. You'll be amazed how much tougher you are as a person when you come out of that. In some ways, the things that used to bother you, really don't bother you as much. And I think that's something probably Connor Ingram is coming to realize. I mean, at the end of the day, he's got it pretty good. He gets to play hockey and make hundreds of thousands of dollars, if not millions of dollars. So he's got it pretty good. Obviously, I'm sure he wants to play to the best of his abilities, and there's pressure there. But I think I wouldn't be surprised to see him have a bounce back, and I think he'll be one of the real feel good stories coming out of this year. So we wish him well. I think the Utah hockey community should be really proud of the ways he was supported in his time of need. Obviously, our friend Jackie Johnson did a great job of putting together the letters for Ingram. She made this. I don't know if she made it, but she or somebody else made that really cool box with all the letters of support that Jackie had gathered. And I think that'll be a really special keepsake for Connor. I know that was delivered to him via the PR team. So super great stuff there. So I think ultimately, it's a good chapter in Utah Mammoth history. We'll see how that shakes out for Ingram. Hey, the Oilers might have their best chance that they've had in a few years now of winning the Stanley Cup. Obviously, they've dealt with the Florida Panthers in the finals the last 2 years, and I don't know if you guys heard, the Panthers are going to have some trouble this year. They lost their captain Alexander Barkov to a ACL, just a whole knee reconstruction. It happened in a practice, in a non-contact injury. He's supposed to be out 7 to 9 months. He might be ready for the playoffs. That'll be something to watch. But they also are going to be without Matthew Tkachuk, who I don't think, my guess is, won't be back until probably after the Olympics in February. So we'll see how they're able to stay afloat. I know they've kind of manipulated the LTR rules a little bit, but those are changing with the new CBA, and that rule actually goes into effect this season. So it'll be interesting to see. But if you're the Oilers, you're looking at your arch nemesis over in Florida, in the possibility of them being severely shorthanded for most of the year, if not the entire year. And you got to kind of be licking your chops. You got to be all right, well, here we go. This is our path to bringing Canada a Stanley Cup may have gotten a lot easier. And I think that's something that's probably being talked about in Edmonton quite a bit, if I had to guess. But we're here in Utah. We're talking. We're fired up. I'm so excited for tomorrow. Again, we're going to wrap up this episode early so we can go camp out in front of the Delta Center. We've got the cots. We've got the empty water bottles to go to the restroom in. We've got our snacks. We've got our iPad with, let's see, the whole last season of Black Mirror downloaded on it for us to watch overnight as we survive an evening in downtown Salt Lake City. I'm kidding, of course. We're not going to do that. We'll just be there at the regular time. We're gonna grab jerseys for sure. So we're really excited about that. But again, it's going to be amazing to be back home, I guess, to be at the Delta Center. It's a place my family and I have spent a ton of time in. So we're really excited to see the new Delta Center. The seating arrangement looks incredible. The fact that they were able to pull that off in as short a time as they did is pretty astounding. I think Sammy is interested in seeing a lot of the new concessions. I don't know if you guys knew this. Sammy was formerly like a big shot in the concession scene at the Delta Center. She was like a manager there, so she knows the concession situation very well. So I'm sure she'll have some thoughts. So we'll come back to you guys on Sunday just to rehash our experience. Not only tomorrow, we're going to the game on Saturday as well. So we're gonna see it all. We're gonna see a lot of what's being done, what has been done, what is being done, what will be done at the Delta Center, and we'll report back to you when we do. It'll be a Sam Cam Sunday, and everybody loves Sam Cam Sundays.
Next week, our little mammoth will be there.
And let's not forget, we'll also have our own little mammoth. Sammy's son Kevin will also be there. And the week after this, next Thursday the 9th for the home opener, I am throwing a watch party at a bar named Sue's State Street location in Midvale. Got more information on that on my social media, SLC Puck, so go ahead and check that out. I'm going to send an email to my subscribers as well. You can subscribe for updates like that at slcpuck.com. Totally free to join. You get nothing but killer content directly in your inbox. Doing a giveaway for that for the first once we hit 1,000 subscribers. I'm going to give some cool stuff away. I'm going to give a pair of Nick Schmaltz gloves and one of his sticks. I bought these at the garage sale last April. I'm going to give those away, both of those, to one lucky subscriber at slcpuck.com. So anyway, go over there and check that out, guys. But we appreciate you guys for tuning in. October is here, and I love it. I'm excited. I hope this episode turned out all right. I did the whole thing in a pumpkin head. For those of you who were listening on audio or wondering why it might have sounded weird, my head was in a frickin' pumpkin. So anyway, if you like this episode, if you want more silliness like it, make sure you like, comment, subscribe. Again, follow me on social, and we'll talk soon, guys. Thank you.